I'm Lauren Green. Welcome to Spirited Debate. According to the Department of Education, 91% of families are concerned with the environment of traditional schooling, public and private. This could be the reason that 1.8 million children were homeschooled in America in 2012, more than double the 850,000 in 1999. And this represents 3.4% of school-aged children. And 64% of those parents say a desire to provide religious instruction was a top reason for homeschooling. Well, father and TV host Matthew Faraci and his wife have chosen to homeschool their 4 children and have opened up on their faith-based methods in their new show on the Dove channel, Frankly Faraci. And Matthew joins me today to discuss all things. Welcome, Matt.
Hi, Lauren. Good to be with you.
Well, it's good to have you here. Now, first of all, why do you want to homeschool your children? What's the objection to sending them to public school?
Well, actually, I'm a former teacher. I taught at a public school. My wife actually taught at a very prestigious private school in Los Angeles. And having experienced that, we saw all of the benefits and detractions from being in the public school system, or frankly, I just said frankly, the private school system as
getting that
the
show
private
in there,
school
aren't
system
you?
as well. That's right, frankly. So we evaluated everything, and the thing is that in the new economy, where everything is about customization and personalization, and you can download apps that make the best possible you, we decided that the best possible thing for our kids was homeschooling, for the reasons, those and for other reasons as well. And we have one child who is special needs, for example, and it really helps us. We've been able to put together an amazing custom program to really, really help him. And so we've just found it to be a tremendously great experience for our family.
So it wasn't really for religious reasons or religious objections to anything that's going on in the public school system?
I'd say that there's a mix of reasons, right? When you look into a decision like this, you try to determine what's the best thing for your family, and we felt like this was the best thing for our family. Certainly, faith played into that because we wanted our kids to have the values that we believe are important, and to understand those values, and to, much like the founders, actually. In fact, the model that we use for our particular educational mix, which is it is a mix because you choose different pieces of curriculum and you put them together. And but one of the big things that we have done is looked at how the founding fathers were educated, and we've tried to educate our kids very closely to that model because clearly it worked for them, right? So if it worked for them,
clearly, right.
If it was good enough for George Washington, John Adams, and Alexander Hamilton, it's good enough for our kids.
Well, tell me about the show. It's called Frankly Faraci. How did that come about? What's it about?
Well, it came about, it was actually the idea of a couple of the executives at Dove Channel who saw me do a panel at a Faith and Family Entertainment Summit here in Los Angeles called Purpose, which is put on by Variety every year. And I put on this panel about upcoming films that people in the family-friendly space would be interested in seeing. And the Dove Channel people came up to me afterwards and said, wow, we should talk about doing a show. And so what Frankly Faraci is about, it's interesting because it's actually never been done before. I don't know why it's never been done before, but it hasn't. And the idea of the show is to find people who are famous, who are doing great things in the world, and they're driven to do those things by their faith. And so we sit down with those people in an environment where they feel comfortable, and we have a real heart-to-heart conversation, almost like the cameras aren't there. And it has been, we just finished season 1, which comes out March 21st, and we're about to go into season 2. And it has been amazing. I mean, for me personally, just to sit down with people and have those conversations, I can't even tell you how incredible it's been.
Well, that's very interesting. So it begins to air next week on the 21st of March. Is that where it airs? It's
yes,
check your local listings kind of thing?
No, it's on Dove Channel, which is, Dove Channel is a streaming channel like Netflix. So think Netflix, but family-friendly. It's available on the internet. It's available on all the major devices. And people can download the Dove Channel app and watch it. And in season 1, we interviewed people like the Piano Guys, who are famous for a million reasons, most recently because they played at the inauguration. We interviewed Propaganda, who's a Christian hip-hop artist who's doing some amazing work on racial reconciliation. We interviewed a family in Florida called the Schwartzes. He's a former Jaguars linebacker. Wow. And they have a group called Winning At. They have a ministry where they focus on winning at home, using the lessons of sports. They have 7 kids that they homeschool, and they use the lessons of sports to teach parents how to bring excellence into the house. Wow. We talked to Studio C, who's a family-friendly sketch comedy group. So it's amazing to see the work that people are doing out there, and you see the goodness in what they're doing. And then there's always a faith foundation for why they're doing it.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Matt. It's called Frankly Faraci, and it's a good alliteration there, too, by the way, for the title of the show. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lauren. I appreciate it.
And thank you for watching A Spirited Debate.